Synthetic Electron 3D channel. I accidentally discovered something interesting about the Elegoo Centauri Carbon. The camera inside this printer is basically just a USB webcam, which means you can unplug it and replace it with almost any UVC webcam. No firmware changes, no hacks, it just works. Sure, the stock camera on the Centauri Carbon works, but the image quality and low light performance leave a lot to be desired. Even a cheap 1080p webcam can produce a noticeably better image. So in this video, I'll show you a simple upgrade that lets you use any USB webcam, keeps your front USB port free, and adds extra flexibility to the printer. While working on another project, I noticed something interesting about the Centauri Carbon camera. Instead of using a proprietary camera interface, it's actually connected using USB through a JST connector, which means if you unplug the stock camera, you can connect a standard UVC webcam and the printer immediately recognizes it. It shows up and functions just like the original camera. Now, technically, the simplest version of this upgrade would be to unplug the stock camera and plug in a USB hub into the front USB port. Then you could connect a webcam and everything would work. But it's not quite plug and play either way. The camera module itself uses a small JST connector, so if you want to reuse the original camera or connect directly to the board, you'll still need some kind of USB adapter cable. Since you already have to open the printer and deal with the wiring anyway, it makes sense to do it a little more cleanly. This adapter converts the internal camera connector into a standard USB connection. Then I added a small USB hub so the printer can support multiple USB devices at the same time. Instead of hiding the hub inside the printer, I mounted it on the outside of the machine so it's still easy to access. That way you can plug in storage devices, cameras, and other USB hardware without opening the printer again. To route the cables out of the printer, I removed the connector mounted in the rear panel that was intended for the MMU, which is also USB by the way. That opening provides a convenient path to run cables from the mainboard area to the outside of the printer. I routed mine out the left side of the rear panel near the spool holder and mounted the hub there. This is just one example placement. You could route the cables or mount the hub wherever it works best for your setup. Another nice thing about this upgrade is that nothing permanent needs to be modified. If you make an adapter for the original camera as well, you can easily swap between cameras. All you have to do is unplug one camera and plug in the other. The printer will only use one camera at a time, but switching between them takes just a few seconds. One interesting thing I discovered is how the printer handles camera light control. The stock camera has a light built into it, and the firmware uses that same toggle to control it. But with a standard webcam, the printer can't actually control any lights. However, the firmware only checks whether the camera is connected, not whether the light itself works. So, as long as a compatible camera is plugged in, the printer will still indicate that the light is on. If no camera is connected, the firmware will complain about a camera connection issue. There is also a separate light header on the mainboard that can be controlled by the same firmware toggle. So, if you want chamber lighting, you can still add that independently. Even a cheap 1080p webcam has noticeably better low light performance than the stock camera. And because it's a standard webcam, you can place it anywhere inside the printer to get the viewing angle you want. While experimenting with the camera feed, I also discovered something useful. The printer exposes the camera stream over HTTP. If you connect to the printer's IP address on port 3031/video, you can access the live MPEG video stream directly. Using ffmpeg, you can capture the entire print as a continuous video. This records the stream directly without re-encoding. The built-in firmware only generates short time-lapse clips on demand, and it seems to build those from cached images on the printer's internal storage. This can take a while, and there's no simple way to export the entire motion video of a print. But with ffmpeg, you can record the full print video in real time. ffmpeg is free and available on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. I recorded these examples using Ubuntu through WSL, but it works the same way on other systems. Another option is using a UVC camera module without an enclosure. These are compact camera boards designed to be mounted directly inside an enclosure, which could make for a very clean internal installation. They tend to be a bit more expensive than basic webcams, and there are fewer models available, but they could be interesting for future projects. While working on this, I also noticed that not all Centauri Carbon cameras are the same. Only one of my printers has the typical red PCB camera labeled version 1. The other has a black PCB labeled version 2, which actually seems to have slightly better image quality and low light performance. Since the adapter converts the camera to USB-A, I was able to temporarily connect the printer's camera directly to my computer. To keep things consistent, both tests were done in the same printer with the same lighting and the same camera position, the OEM position. I simply swapped the cameras and recorded the same Benchy print. Let's take a look at them side by side. Both recordings were captured the same way and upscaled to 1080p during capture, so the comparison is still apples to apples. The version 2 camera does appear slightly better, especially in low light, but neither camera is particularly impressive at this printer's price point. One interesting detail is that these cameras expose adjustable properties in Windows, including things like exposure, brightness, and white balance. A lot of very cheap UVC cameras don't even support these controls. When connected directly to a computer, the cameras can also run at 720p and around 30 frames per second. The printer's built-in stream runs at a lower resolution and frame rate to keep network and CPU load down. I'm curious to know which camera version other people received with their printers. Since the printer now has a USB hub connected, I also tested a few other devices while I was experimenting, including an NVMe drive and a USB enclosure, which happened to work perfectly. That opens up some interesting possibilities for future projects. So this simple upgrade allows you to use almost any UVC webcam with the Centauri Carbon while keeping the front USB port free. It also makes it easy to connect the printer's original camera directly to a computer for full motion recording or testing, and even compare different camera versions. And if you want the best quality image, a basic webcam is still a noticeable improvement over the stock camera. Overall, it's a simple and flexible upgrade that adds a lot more camera options to the printer. And it planted a few ideas for future projects in the process. Just going off script here for a moment on a personal note. After struggling with several health issues, I'm doing much better, and I'm not dying as far as I know anyway. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for all your support. And I'm excited to get busy again and start working on more projects and getting active in the community. Thank you. If you find this kind of video interesting or useful, then consider subscribing so you don't miss future videos. And don't forget to click that like button to show your support. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.